All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, it is time for a market watch. That's right. For those who might not be aware, for those who are newer to the channel, or for those who just had no idea, on the 1st and the 15th of every single month, guys, we have a market watch update style video. So, guys, it's time for a market watch update. It is March 1st, 2025 at the time you're recording this video. Now, with that in mind, let's go ahead and hop straight into this. There's not much to talk about in the intro. First things first, let me lay out the video. We are going to be heading over to tcgplayer.com to check out the secondary market prices for individual cards, some of the more expensive cards in the game currently. After that, we're going to head over to Limitless TCG and check out how much decks are going to cost altogether for the newer players, so that way, for the new players who are trying to get into this game on a budget, you'll be able to hop over and check out that part of the video, and you'll know how much decks cost in their entirety, right? That's really important for the newer players. After that, we got one game on the sim. Hey guys, we'll do one game on the sim. Okay, we got a game of Foxy for later on. Okay, but for the people who don't like the market watch stuff, you'll be able to hop all the way to the end and check that game out if that's more your thing, right? Okay, now with that in mind, guys, y'all know the drill. I will have everything time-stamped in the general description. I will have all relevant deck lists and links and things like that down in the comments section below. And guys, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comments section below as well. Or hop on the VB Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description. So today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden. Their latest spring collection just dropped, featuring 3 incredible new designs here. Check these out. We'll look at these in just a minute, guys. And to celebrate, they are running a spring sale where you can buy one playmat and get any of the classic playmats they offer for 50% off with the code Spring Sale. I'm going to put that on the screen right now so you know what that looks like. So check these out. These are the classic playmats I was just referring to, where if you use the Spring Sale promo, these are the 5 mats that you can get at 50% off. Okay, really cool stuff here, right, guys? Okay, now I'm going to, I should mention one more thing. Notice this. My promo code is up there as well, where you can get an additional 5% off at the checkout with using the VV Theory. Okay, notice that's like one word. There's no spaces. Now, let's check this out real quick. There are some absolutely incredible designs on here. This Gundam one, loving this. Absolutely loving this one. I did grow up watching Gundam, so yeah, this, of course, hits home with me. And then there are some others I want to show you as well. This might be my favorite one. Look at this, guys. So this is the color version of this Heavenly Yaksha playmat. And get this, there is a black and white version as well. Okay, beautiful, looks incredible, huge fan of this one. It might be my favorite one, if I'm being honest with you guys, but all of these look incredible. There are some other animes on here as well, but I'm really going to focus on the One Piece stuff. Look at this 4 Emperors playmat. Incredible. It's got this stained glass design. You guys got to check this out when you get a chance. And then one more I want to show off is this Shanks playmat. This one, that's looking pretty tough, guys. This one's looking pretty tough. Okay, so again, be sure to check this out when you get a chance, guys. Let me go back to the home page. I will have the website linked down in the comments section below, and I will have the promo code and all that information down there as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hop into this market watch portion of the video. We've got a lot of cards to go over. We're going to be going over them in normal color order, just like usual on the channel. Red, green, blue, purple, black, and then yellow. So let's do this, guys. Let's get straight into it. Red is up first. So I'm probably going to spend the most amount of time on Silver's Rayleigh. This card, we got to talk about some things. Excuse me, just like a general mentality we have to take on the channel here. We have to change up. So bear with me on this one. The rest of the cards we'll go through pretty quickly. But Silver's Rayleigh is up to $30. So I think I have a new rule on the channel here, like as far as like mentality goes for the market watch. Guys, I've said this before. If you find a secret rare that is $10 and under, I would snap decision. I would buy that so fast. For the secret rares, $10 and under. For SRs, the next rarity down from that, for the super rares, if those are $5 and under, snap decision, buy those if you need them for your playset, right? If you need the full playset, you just get those immediately at that price because it's just hard to beat that. It's probably not going to go much lower, but it could always get a little bit higher. So that's something to take into consideration. And I always say that on the channel, along with one other thing. We talk about pseudo playsets. Some cards you need all 4 for a full playset, and some cards you really only need like 1 or 2 of them, like Goldie Roger. You typically would only need like 1 or 2 of those in a deck to have like the full playset you need, in a normal game for your deck. But we're going to talk about one more thing here, guys. And I'll say this. Super rares, SRs, so going to, not secrets, going to SRs, that are more than $5, the main thing to consider, we're actually going to see this in just a moment as I'll scroll down and talk about it with Dragon here. Notice this card is above $5. So it's like, should I buy it or not? According to my mentality that I basically always talk about on this channel, I would say yes, because of this. Now, we're going to talk about some other factors as well. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about on this one page right here, especially talking about secret rares like Rayleigh, SRs like Dragon, and then talking about PRB02 coming out in the future. So when it comes to Dragon, and when it comes to SRs that are very high quality, highly used SRs that are very, they just have high utility. You can use them in any deck that is of whatever color they're in. They're probably worth adding double whatever I'm saying to go for them. So hear me out. So in other words, like I said, if it's an SR under $5, I say buy it instantly. But if it's an SR that's incredibly good, I would say double that to $10. And if it's $10 and under for a super high quality SR, just get it immediately. Don't even ask any questions. Now, pre-sale prices are a little different too, right? There's so many different factors. There's so many different things to take into consideration. So many different factors, right? Pre-sale prices mess up everything, but when we're looking at the set price of something, like this Dragon is sitting just under $10, around $7.50 to $8. I think it says $6.50, but I think it actually really goes up to $8 if you look at each sale. And here's the thing. It's under $10. It's a very high quality SR, so I would just snag it. Now, using that same mindset, that same mentality for the secret rares, I say $10 and under, snag this card, right? Okay, well, here's the thing. If it is going to be an extremely good secret rare, well, double that to $20 and under, and I would snag the card immediately. Now, when we get out of that price range, like what we're going to see soon, we're going to see Brook as an SR that's $35 right now. Not yet. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But then we're seeing a secret rare that's in the $30 range. That's where you have to start asking questions like, should I actually buy this right now? And it gets confusing. There is no yes or no answer, because hear me out. If you say that you should buy it for right now, well, what if I told you that this card was going to be reprinted in PRB02 and the price is going to go down by over half? Well, then all of a sudden it's not a good idea. By the way, we don't know that yet. We don't know if this card will be reprinted or not. However, you could say it is a good idea, because what if it's not reprinted in PRB02 and then all of a sudden this card goes to the moon in price and it's not going to be reprinted anytime soon? You see what I'm saying? It's a double-edged sword. It is a very hard thing to quantify, to calibrate, however you want to say it. You have to really watch the market if you're interested in getting a card like this. So keep your eye on this card. That's my answer. I don't have an answer on whether you should buy this or not. I think buying this card at $30, secret rares are extremely, extremely rare, right? They're secret rares. That's the highest rarity in this game until you get into the alt-art area. So secret rares are the highest normal rarity in the game, right? They're the highest non-alt-art rarity in the game. So with that in mind, yes, there are not as many of these in rotation. And this card in particular, Silver's Rayleigh, is an incredibly powerful effect. Some people might say this is the best card in red, like the strongest character in red. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, you see why the price is at $30. But I'm still going to say this, guys. If this card gets announced, if they announce in PRB02 that this card will be reprinted in there, this card will go way down in price. I can pretty much guarantee that unless something crazy happens. Now, with that in mind, let's go down here. For today's video, guys, we are just going to kind of side scroll through all the other cards in the color after looking at the main card I want to focus on for the day. Dragon is at the $6.50 price range, okay? But it's really, like I said, if you click on it, it's really around the $8 price range once you get down to all the sales for it. You have to be real careful with this one, but under $10 for a card of this, caliber, I do think this is probably worth getting, even though it's a little more expensive than I would normally recommend for an SR card, okay? And I should specify that. So, notice Ben Beckman and Shanks, when I say buy it, and when an SR is under $5, buy it as a snap decision, what I'm really saying is that is no thought is required. But once it gets above that threshold, okay, now with Dragon, we're looking at a card that's over $5. Okay, well now you have to use some judgment. You have to use some discernment, okay, and go about things that way. Okay, because there's also the other factor of okay, well, is a tournament coming out that I could really do good in? If I have this card, well, then you need to buy it, right? Because if you win that tournament, then you're going to win way more than what the card costs, right? At least potentially, depending on how big the tournament is. So that is something to really consider. Now, moving over to the so Beckman and Shanks, these are well under $5. I would snag these as soon as you can if you do not already have them. Bad Manners Kit Course and Gum Gum Fire Fist Pistol Red Hawk. These cards right here. These prices are going to completely depend on what is in the new PRB02 set. Because if these cards get reprinted in there, well, these prices will go way down. But here's the other thing, guys. If they're not in there, these prices could go way up. So you have to, I think these are pretty reasonably priced right here. I would snag these if I did not already have my play set. And when it comes to Gum Gum, Fire Fist, Pistol Red Hawk, these names are so crazy, right, guys? But when it comes to this card, remember what we were saying earlier about pseudo playsets? You probably only need like 2 of this card. Same thing with Bad Manners Kit Course. You're probably, whoops, I double clicked. You're only going to need like 2 of this card. Okay, I would say you're probably only going to need 2 of this card. So I would snag my 2 of these at least for now, and then see what happens for the other 2 if you want the full playset. See what happens with PRB02. Keep your eye on that and see what happens. Same idea with Sanji here. This card's gone up to about 250, guys. This came out. It's a rare from OP01, so I'm actually surprised it's this expensive. But hey, at the same time, this is a very solid 2K counter. Okay, let's go ahead and finish out with red here. I think we got a few more things to talk about. Yeah, this Edward Newgate down to $3, guys. I would snag these immediately if you don't have your full play set. Getting these for the $3 range, even the $4 to $5 range, because these are a starter deck. Remember, this is not your normal SR. These are your starter deck SRs. So I would get my full play set of these if you do not already have them. Absolutely. Next up, Ace is from the same starter deck as the Whitebeard we just saw, or the Newgate we just saw. I would snag these as well. Get your full play set if you plan on playing these in the future. All right, and I think that's about it. I did want to go over Roger. I don't see Roger on here. Let me say this, guys. I'll go back real quick and see if it pops up on the one we were just on. Okay, I'm actually not seeing it, guys. But I saw it down here just a minute ago. There it is. Okay, it all depends on which search you're on, right? Because it brings up cards that are related to it. Goldie Roger is still well under $10. And again, with my pseudo playset idea, you only need like 1, maybe 2 of these. I would snag at least 1 right now. No questions asked. Make sure you at least have 1 of these cards ready to go. Right? I would get this immediately. All right, guys, moving over to the green cards. We got Zoro up first, as usual. This is just one of those cards. It just sits around $25, guys. I guess get used to this price unless it gets reprinted in PRB02. I think it's way overpriced. I'm going to be honest. I think this card is just way overpriced, and it's just Zoro. Hey, the art looks incredible. It's a very powerful effect, but I don't think you see many decks running Zoro that are winning tournaments. I'll tell you that much right now. I don't see many decks running Zoro that are even winning locals. Okay, I'll just say it. You know, I'm just being honest. I think the card is fine. I don't think it's a bad card or anything like that. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But hear me out. I also think that this card is just, you know, I think it's a little overpriced. It's almost like the what people call like the waifu tax or whatever, where we got Zoro on here instead, and people just love this card. Whatever. Hey, that's fine. Spend your money how you want to, guys. I personally will not be buying this card at this price, and I really hope it gets reprinted in PRB02 and the price goes down on it. Okay, moving on to some of the others here in green. Hody Jones is, of course, going to be an absolute must-buy, guys. Get this as soon as you possibly can. If you don't have your Hody Jones, what are you waiting on? Eustace Kid has gone up in price. Let's actually click on this and sit on this for a while here. We'll sit on this card for a while. It's about $6 a card. I would definitely snag these. Okay, watch out, guys. Make sure you don't buy the Japanese versions. Be very careful with these Japanese versions, okay? Make sure you're buying the English versions for the English tournaments. And for the English version, it's around $8 a card right now, guys. Let's move over to the second page here. Yeah, it's around $7, $8 a card for this right now. And this was reprinted already, so I would not expect this to be reprinted. I would snatch these up while you can, while they're well under $10. I would get these immediately if you plan on playing anything green in OP10 or going forwards, guys. We're talking green-yellow Trafalgar Law in OP10, red-green Smoker in OP10, and who knows what else comes out in the future for green Supernovas, you know, past OP10. So really good card to get right here, guys. Rosinante, sitting around $3. Make sure you have your playset of Rosinantes, guys. If you don't have your playset of this card, please, what are you waiting on? You know what I mean? I would definitely snatch these up. Carrot, well under $5, I'd get these because the side of justice will be whichever side wins. I'd definitely get that one. Shanks, Doflamingo, Bonnie, yeah, get all these guys. All these are cards you need to snag. Let me go ahead and go to this Doflamingo real quick and see if it brings up with some other cards to look out for, because I want to talk about Cavendish. I'm hoping I could just do this instead of doing a search for it. Okay, whatever. We'll just go ahead and do a search. There's one other card we have to really talk about before we move on from green, and it is Cavendish. Guys, I am really hoping that cards like Cavendish, cards like the Red Chopper from EB01, cards like the Brook we're going to be looking at in a minute here from EB01, I really hope these cards get reprinted in PRB02. I don't know if they will or not. That's the scary part. We don't know if they will or not, but I'm just saying hopefully they keep an eye on that. This card is still at the $25 to $30 range. Keep your eye on it. It is an incredibly powerful card. Guys, if you're trying to play Supernovas moving forward, it's a card you might just have to, you know, you might have to just get this. That hurts, right? That really hurts. But I would just snag this if you are really serious about going Supernovas. But if you don't want to buy at this price, I understand that. Maybe wait till PRB02 gets further along, like where we get closer to PRB02. They should announce more cards that will be in there, and that could drive the prices down on a lot of these cards we're looking at today. All right, so that's it for green. Let's go ahead and head over to blue. This Sanji is back up to $25 to $30 a card, guys. People are, there are some predictions, early predictions on OP11 saying that a leader running this card will be S tier. So this card has gone up to $25 in cost. I expect that. This is where I expect the best secret rares to be at, is around the $25 mark. And I actually get annoyed when they're at around the $30 mark and higher, like what we saw with Silver's Rayleigh. I think $25 should be the absolute peak we see with some of these secret rares. And again, we're not talking about alt arts. We're talking about the base rarity secrets. This is a solid card, guys. In fact, look, it's going up to $30. If you guys, this is the second time I've asked people to buy this card, or not asked them to buy it, but saying, you know, like, hey guys, this card might go up in price. You ready for this? I've said this on the channel many times, guys. Let's go back 6 months. I was telling people to buy this card when it was under $10. I've been saying, guys, buy this stinking card. It doesn't. That's what I'm saying with this card too, guys. Just buy the card while it's at this price. It can't really go much lower than this, right? Theoretically, maybe it can. I don't know. But I just wouldn't take my chances. Same thing with this Sanji. I say, guys, this card has a lot of potential. I think I'd get this card when it was $10. Now it has tripled that. It's basically $30 a card. If you look down far enough here, it's about $30 a card, guys. I would really keep my eye on that moving forward. Excuse me. Okay, let's see what else they have for blue down here. Gravity Blade, Raging Tiger. Wait, I got to keep it like this. Pudding is super affordable right now. Go ahead and snag these. Gravity Blade, Raging Tiger. I would get my playset of these. It's still under $5 for a rare event. These rare events, you might as well treat like secret rares, to be honest, guys. That's just kind of how they trend on the market. What else? We're not going to do purple yet, guys. That's the next color. Jozu is well under $1. We can, definitely snag that. Emporio Ivankov. Okay, if you want to run that, by all means. I don't know why that even popped up for this. But now let's go over to Jozu, because hopefully this pushes us into more of the realm of the 7 Warlords. It looks like we got Sengoku on here under $2. Good time to buy that card. Croc is, yeah, of course, get that one. So Jinbei, Perona, and Weevil. This is like the little trio here of cards you got to really consider. Perona is a uncommon from from OP01. Jinbei, this was a OP07 secret rare. That thing's going for about $7 because it's just used in so many different blue Dofi decks, of course. It's using, even blue Boa, right, is using cards like Jinbei potentially. Edward Weevil, this is an EV01 rare going for about $3 a card. I would get all those cards I just said, guys. I would not even bat an eye. I would get all those immediately. Some people are saying, like, yeah, but we don't know if this card's going to be banned or not in the new upcoming bans and restrictions. Well, you're right. We have no idea of knowing that, but I can tell you right now, if it's not banned, this is a very good price to get the card at. It's just one of those very high level SRs. I would snag it immediately. Okay, moving over here, Trafalgar Law. And Buggy, these are from Starter Deck 17, and they're well under $5. I would just treat them as SRs and get these immediately. In fact, I believe this Trafalgar Law has been confirmed to be reprinted in PRB02. Okay, along with another card, Sabo, the 5-cost blocker. We'll talk about that when we get to black. But other than that, guys, these cards are just really good. Let's at least look for Boa. If I click on Trafalgar Law, let me see if it links us to Boa down here without me having to go through all of them. Nice. So Boa, under $2, yeah, I would snap decision buy these immediately. Because here's the thing, guys. We don't know what they're going to ban from 7 Warlords. We don't know if they'll ban anything from 7 Warlords. They may not. And if that's the case, I would just get the deck as intended. Like, just buy the full deck the way you would normally buy it. And then whatever gets banned, you can work around that if something even gets banned. That's the way that I would use. That's my mentality on it. Okay, guys? One more thing I do want to look up is Love Mellow. I think it's like this. Yep. This card, nice. Look at that. Look at that alternate art. The premium collection one looks incredible, guys. That alt art, Love Mellow looks great. But these cards are all basically around the $8 to $9 mark. I'll just click on this one. Guys, if you're trying to, this is really only used in Nami, but if you're trying to play Nami, I would grab these now because we're not sure if they're going to be reprinted or not. Okay, that's it for the blue cards. Let's head over to the purple cards. That's right. This is probably the most expensive card in the game right now, is this Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham, sitting around $40. Absolutely miserable pricing here. This makes anybody sad, right? Hopefully this gets reprinted. I'm not going to guarantee anything, obviously, because I don't know. I have no idea what Bandai's going to do. But if they don't reprint this card, I will have some serious concerns. If they do not reprint this card in PRB02, or at least in something in the near future, if not PRB02, then something, then I'll have some serious concerns, because I don't think this card's going to go down in price. It's one of those secret rares that's extremely usable, and it's extremely like versatile in its application and its function, or however you'd say that. Any purple deck can run this card. It costs 4. It ramps a Dawn, and then it's just in a set. It's a secret rarity, extremely rare, in a set that was also just didn't see enough print, probably. I don't know what else would explain why this is so expensive. Okay, so we're going to move on from that immediately over to Monkey D. Luffy. This one's sitting around the $14 mark, $14 to $15 mark. I think this is a pretty reasonable price to get a very good secret rare for. So if you don't have your Luffys, I don't see him going much lower than this. Again, barring any kind of reprints that we don't know about. And this just came out in OP09, so I don't think they would reprint this early. I think this is pretty well priced. I'd probably get this as soon as possible, guys, if you need your playset still, and if you need this card. Sanji, well, which one, right? Here we go. So let's talk about the one on the left first, the $7 cost one. Well under $5 for an SR, snag it immediately. This other SR Sanji, this one I would snag immediately as well, unless you want to wait to gamble if it's going to be reprinted or not, because this is just an extremely, extremely good card. Gum Gum Giant is now is the time to get that. This Eustace Kid, this Frankie, these are very well priced. This Charlotte Linlin at $5, I would definitely get that as soon as possible if you need that. And then we got Usohachi up to $8 to $10. I would treat this as an SR, guys. I would treat this as a very high quality SR. It's part of Starter Deck 18. It is a very high utility 2K counter. Get these as soon as possible, because these could go up even more in price before you know it. You have to be so careful with these. And here's that Sanji again. Zoro's under $5. Definitely get that. And I think we've seen the rest of these. Black Maria's under $5. I'd snatch these up. This Onami. Yeah, everything looks pretty good for purple, guys. I think all these purple prices are actually extremely reasonable. Everything we saw, except the Boncray. The Boncray is the one card I would really watch out for, because, guys, hear me out. These Straw Hat cards, they're solid. They're going to be solid for a while. You're going to be able to run these in purple Luffy, black purple Luffy potentially, blurple Luffy, however you want to run them. I'm not saying it will be the best, we'll have to see what the best deck is for all these, but these are just extremely high quality purple Straw Hat cards, and they can be run in pretty much any purple Straw Hat leader deck, especially with the Gum Gum Giant. Your leader does have to be Straw Hat for that. Okay, so that's it for purple. Not too much to talk about in purple. I'm trying to think, is there anything else we wanted to get into here? I'm sure I'll forget something, guys. Y'all bear with me. But let me just say, the biggest problem in purple right now is, of course, the Boncray Bentham. Next up is Brook, or the black cards. Guys, this card is up to $40 a card, and we don't know. This might get resold. This might get reprinted in PRB02. Is there any confirmation that this will not be reprinted in PRB02, guys? Why has this card gone up so high in price? I understand it's used in pretty much any and every black deck that's trying to run Gecko Moria Rebecca packages with Ice Age and whatnot, but why is this card continuing to climb in price? We got to be careful here, guys. We got to be really careful. Notice this Sabo. We're going to look at Sabo right now, guys. This card went down in price because this has been confirmed. It will be reprinted in PRB02. So this card's going down in price. I love to see that. And I had 2 extra copies, guys. I should have sold them when I had the chance. I'm not upset at all, though. I want to see these cards go way down in price, guys. I want to see these go way down in price. And this is a really good card that most black decks really need to get a good defensive footing in the match, in whatever game they're in. Gecko Moria, Rebecca, all around the $5 mark. Immediate snap decision, buy these if you have not already gotten them. Brook, there's no way in the world I would buy at this price, guys. That's just me. Unless you're going to a tournament where you need this card, there's no way otherwise I would buy this card currently. Or I don't know, maybe if you're a collector and you just want your collection, you don't care. If you got deep pockets, do what you got to do, right? Do what you want. But I'm just saying, for us common folk out here, I would be careful with that one. Gecko, I think Jack, Rebecca, Gecko, these are looking pretty good. I would even hold off on Sabo, even though it's the lowest it's been in a long time, because it should be reprinted. At least that's what they said would happen. That's what someone claimed would happen. Someone mentioned that somewhere. I think I read on Discord or somewhere in the community. So I would let this keep going even further down before I bought this one. Okay, let's look for any of the other ones here. Hina's down to $6, or excuse me, it says 5, but it says $6.73 in the market price. Probably pretty good because this is part of the starter deck. So any starter deck cards that are under $10, you just get them when you need them because it's your safest bet because you don't know when they're going to be reprinted. Rob Lucci, under $1, easy snap decision buy this. Tempest Kick, of course, but you can get that whenever. And everything else looks pretty good on here. I'll click on Rob Lucci and see what it gives me for the recommended. I don't really have much more to talk about for black here. This Kaido, this is a good pickup at this price. Same thing with Kaku. And yeah, let me click on Kaido because I think this might link me over to one more card I wanted to see. Marshall D. Teach is still super cheap. That's fine. Borsalino, okay, this will be a good one. This should link us over to Kuzan as well. Kuzan under $2. This card under $2. We'll take that every single time. Kuzan, Secret Rare under $5. Immediately buy these as soon as you can, guys. Isho under $3. We'll take that. And there's Sakazuki. Almost no one's playing this, unfortunately, but the card looks so incredible. Okay, there's one other card we did have to talk about. I thought it was going to take us to them, but we'll click on it here. Laboon is going down in price as well because I think this is no longer going to be used very much in Blackbeard or Marshall D. Teach. This was seeing play all over the place in Teach, but now going into the next set, I do think it's going to go down in usage. Still a good card, and the cost on this is because of it where the set it came from, EB01. But yeah, I think this card is going to go way down in price in the future, and who knows, hopefully it'll get reprinted as well. Okay, we'll look down here for anything else. Oh, Finger Pistol, I'm glad this came up. This card is outrageously expensive right now, guys. It has spiked in price because, oh, what's this? EB01. You know, the usual, that's EB01 always ends up being the bad guy in these situations, guys, for the overpriced cards, at least most of the time. Guys, this card's up to like $10. I hope you got your card when, you know, I hope you got this before now, because now it's at an unreasonable price, in my personal opinion, for a event. Even though it is of a high caliber, this is a very strong event. $10 for it, that's annoying. That's a little too much in my opinion. Okay, that's it for black. We're going to move over to yellow now. That's the final color. Portgosti Ace is still kind of like the most expensive card to look at for yellow. Excuse me. It's one of those, it's like Rayleigh. It's one of those cards you can run in any yellow deck. It's not locked in any way, and you're probably going to get whatever value you want from the card. Like not value as in like, how do I say this? I don't mean like market value. I'm saying like value in the game. Like Rayleigh always does what he does, and so does this card Ace. These cards just do what they do, right? They're just very good in that way. So a lot of people run them in whatever deck they can that has yellow, or in the case of Rayleigh, that has red. Okay, so yeah, this one being at $30, I'm not going to talk much more about it. I would wait. This card came out in OP07. Who knows? Maybe this will get reprinted. I wouldn't be surprised if most of the secret rares get reprinted. Okay, guys, I would not be surprised. But, you know, let me say this. From set 5, or, you know, yeah, from set 5 through set 10, or excuse me, we're going into 10, so I'd say set 8. So set 5 through set 8, I think pretty much anything in there could very, very potentially get reprinted, especially secret rares and certain SRs. But we'll have to see what happens. Shirahoshi's still up to $22. What do you know? Of course it is, guys. This is, of course, an EB01 card. It's just outrageously priced because I think there just isn't enough of the product going around, like short print. Kingdom Come, EB01. Okay, now Nami is up to $10 because this is just a really good SR. I would definitely recommend picking up your playset of Namis if you do not already have them. It's still well under $10, and it is a SR of the highest caliber, so I would definitely snag these. Kingdom Come under $5 for an EB01 card. I would definitely snag these. You're the one who should disappear for $3. Okay, I'd get that as well. Yeah, yellow looks pretty well priced right now, guys. I feel like that's how it was for most of the stuff in... what was it? Was it green or blue? I can't remember. Everything seemed pretty good priced in some of these colors here. Katakuri's under $15 for an extremely powerful secret rare. I would definitely snatch these up as soon as you can because, again, it falls in that range. Guys, it falls in that range of being a secret rare that is extremely useful and extremely powerful. So, yeah, we'll go above $10 to get that as long as we're under 20 and still pretty, you know, reasonable. We'll buy that if we have to, right? That's the kind of the price point we'll still go for. Frankie under $1, get that immediately. Yamato under $5. Flampe is actually, looks like it's been going down. No, it looks like it's going, well, it used to be up higher. It's gone down and then it's peaking up a little bit again. Under $10 for this card, I would just snag this, guys. EB01. That's all I have to say. The prices for EV01 were outrageous, and hopefully Bandai does learn from whatever happened there. Now, Kazuki Hiyori is down in price. You love to see that. That's super. This is probably the cheapest this card has ever been. Supernova Luffy, the buff Luffy, he's down well under $5. Rocket Boots Luffy is right at $5. We'll definitely take that. And I think that's about it for yellow, guys. We'll look at the Big Mom Pirate stuff real quick, and then we'll call it on that. Okay, so going over to Lin Lin. The tin cost is up to $10, but this is one of the strongest SRs in the game here, guys. This Charlotte Lin Lin's pretty much one of the strongest cards in the game, period. You gain a life, they lose a life. You have a tin cost 12k. It's searchable by Big Mom Pirates. Big Mom Pirates is a very strong type in the game. It shares colors really strongly across yellow and purple. So if you're trying to run Pudding in the future or anything, Big Mom Pirates, I would snatch these up as soon as you can. Even at this price, guys, $10 for pretty much one of the best SRs out there. It is a little pricey. I'm not going to lie. It's a little more expensive than I thought it would be, but it's an OP03 SR. Hopefully it sees a reprint. We'll see what happens. This card right here as well. This is a starter deck. This is what you can... Guys, this can happen every now and then with starter deck cards. Look at this, up to $17 because, yeah, it's just an SR, but it's in a starter deck, so it's like a limited print run. Well, I don't know how else to explain it. There's just not as many out there. It's in a starter deck, so it's not as easy to get your hands on, and it's, you know, it just becomes very hard to get. So $17 for these SRs, it is what it is. If you really, I will say this, you probably don't need to get this card anytime soon. Like if I were running some type of Big Mom Pirates deck, I don't know if I'd run this card in it nowadays, because you can actually run a extremely aggressive curve that burns their life with the 6-cost Nico Robin, 8-cost Eustace Kid, and then 10-cost Lin Lin once we get into OP10, which is coming out in about a month here in the West at the time you're recording this. So, like, I would be very careful with getting this card at this price. Maybe see if it'll go down in price. But like I said, guys, it's a SR from a starter deck from way back in ST07. Be careful. Careful with this one, guys. Okay, I think that's about it, guys. Everything else down here is pretty straightforward. Everything else is pretty cheap and pretty easy to get. If I missed anything, guys, by all means, please tell me in the comment section below if there's another card that's really been moving on the market. All right, so guys, let's go ahead and check out how much decks are costing altogether. We're over on LimitlessTCG.com, and let's see how much these, like if you're a player trying to get into this game on a budget, number one, what is your budget? And then we'll be able to go from there. Right, so let's go ahead and check out some of the decks here. In fact, we'll do that at first. Let me just do it like that. Let's say you're trying to get into this game on a $50 budget. Number one, anything lower than that is kind of hard to pull off, but there are actually a few decent options. So first off, if you're trying to get into this game for like $50 or under, here's a great aggressive list for red and yellow from Bello Betty here. This one's by Mitch. This came out January 25th, so a little over a month ago now, but we'll still check it out. This is a $30 list, guys, and most of that cost is in this card right here. Red, Yellow, Bello Betty is a great intro budget list that can get you into the game and you can build off of from there, especially if you do choose to go, if you choose to stick with Revo Army. Okay, let's go ahead and look at another one here. Again, staying under the $50 price point. We have, I don't know what I just hit there. Here's a 19th place list right here from Mexico City by Antonio Estrada Garcia. This is a $38 list. Okay, again, well under $50. The most expensive card in here is Black Maria, but I do think you probably will have to snag this card if you do want to play this list. Okay, this is another great entry-level list, and it is getting some support in the near future here. I believe in EB02 and OP11. I could be wrong about that, but it is getting some support very soon here. Maybe it's OP10. I could be off on that. It could be coming out even sooner than I thought. But this is getting a little bit of support coming around the corner here, and this is a pretty decent deck, guys, and it's well under $50. Okay, so we did Raise You. We went over Red, Yellow, Bello Betty, and then I think there's one other one I wanted to look at. Let me see where it is. Here it is, Nami. Yep. Another deck for just under $50. Here's a from February 1st. We have the Core TCG Online Treasure Cup. Alex Sneezy's list here. Well, excuse me, this one I'll say is right at 50. It's a little above 50 now, and that is because of this card right here, Love, Love, Mellow. This is the main card, and I do think you probably can get around going down one or two of these, like maybe going down a copy or two of this card, and in the place of it, you could probably just go up the. It's a card I don't think they run much anymore. It's called Deathwink. Yeah, I'm not seeing any Deathwinks in here, but there are some budget options where you can drop down two of these Love Love Mellows, maybe go down one or two of these, and then go up to Deathwinks. Okay, just try to give some options here for the newer players out there trying to get into the game on a budget. Now, going past that, The next best options I will recommend are all like meta options, decks that are in this top category up here, the top 5. First up is Dofi. Guys, this is a $100 deck list. Let's look at Ernest Sue's list here. Guys, this is a $100 deck list right now. Now, I know some people might be saying, like, yeah, but what if cards get banned or something? Well, that's something we have to deal with as it comes up. And for how cheap this deck is, if it's salvageable at all, like, let me say this, guys. If bans ever happen, there's going to be a bans restriction update on March 16th, for those who might not know. If this deck gets hit in any way, if it is salvageable in any way, I will be trying to put out a video on that, like a post-ban style video that shows how I think you should run the list going forward. But I don't think they're going to get rid of like every card in the deck, right, guys? So the idea is this: like, say they even get rid of this leader, you're actually fine still buying this entire list and going over to Boa Hancock. And I'm not saying they're going to get rid of the leader. I'm just saying, say they even did something as drastic as like, yeah, but what if they get rid of the leader in the ban? Well, that actually wouldn't be a problem. We can go over to Boa Hancock and build the deck from there. Okay, so good stuff there. Next up, let's look at Black and Yellow Luffy. This one's going to be on the higher end of the price range here. Let's look at this first place list here. Back on February 22nd at Top Cut Events Online Treasure Cup by Piquant Josie. Just under $200 for a very, very strong deck list here. Black, Yellow Luffy, guys. The most expensive card is, of course, Sabo. Flampe's up there as well, but Sabo is the main problem. Hopefully, after the reprints, this card will go down in price. Okay. Next up, we have Lucci. This is another very high-level deck. This will probably be pretty close to what we just saw. Let's look at this 12th place list from February 22nd, the Top Cut Events Online Regional by Brian. Okay, this was a little more expensive than I thought. It must be from the Brook. Yeah, the Brook is over half the price of this deck, guys. There are cards you can replace this card with. They're not as good, understand that, but you can replace this with the 3-cost Kobe for the time being if you're trying to build on a budget, and that will put this list at under $100. And then this card Brook is something you could work towards, you know, over the course of your time playing the game, and that would be a pretty acceptable. In my personal opinion, I think that'd be a pretty decent way of how do I say it? Basically, playing the deck on a budget. You can also go up, let me see if they're running 3 of this card Kaku, and how many Rob Lucci's? 4 Rob Lucci. So another option is maybe you go down to 3 of Kobe and go up 1 of these Kakus, and then you could be okay in that area as well. Again, it's not as good. I'm not saying it's like a card for card perfect trade-off, but it still will give you some options if you're trying to play on a bigger budget than that, or on a smaller budget than that. Okay, so that's Lucci. Going over to Purple Luffy now. Here is a 6th place. Actually, here's a 4th place list. We'll check this one out from Versus Games Online Treasure Cup by Blazer Knight. $280, and it's this is the #1 problem in here. If you remove this card, it goes down to $150. I would just remove this card, guys. I would not run it. There's another card we can run in the place of it. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick, guys. I actually have the purple cards up. There are a few cards you can replace this card right here with. This is the card in question that costs so much. You can replace it with, where is, I gotta find it, guys. Ein. This is one of the cards, but the card I was actually thinking of is not this one. I'm trying to see it. I'm just not, every now and then you look over. Here it is. Basil Hawkins. I would just simply replace the card with this to play it on a budget, and you're good to go. Okay? Y'all got a sneak peek at the Foxy deck, but we're about to check that out now. Okay, so this deck will go way down in price for the newer players if you just replace this one card with the 4-cost Basil Hawkins I was just showing on the screen. Okay, and this Sanji is going to stick around this price probably for a while unless it's reprinted. Same thing with Usohachi. Same thing with this Luffy. So I would probably snag all this other stuff, guys, and then you could just skip out on this $130 here and drop the deck down to a $150 price. Okay, good stuff there. Now I think we're going to go over about two or three more. Jewelry Bonnie. Dylan Mal got 22nd place here at the TAC Online Treasure Cup. Let's check out this list. Right around $200. Cavendish is half the cost. You'll notice that with most of these decks, guys. Like, everything would be like a $100 deck or cheaper if it weren't for just like a single card right now, guys. That's just how it is. It is what it is. We're trying to work on that. You know, I say we're trying to work on that. I try to talk about this stuff all the time, at least in videos. Hopefully Bandai's listening. Hopefully they're reprinting the cards we need to see reprinted to drive down these prices. Because, man, if they can make every deck in this game right around the $100 price point, this would be an absolute paradise of a player's game right here. Like, or let me say it like this. This would be an absolute paradise of a game for the players. I know people who are trying to make money off of it. Hey, hopefully you can make a lot of money in the alt art area, you know, the secondary market with the alt art stuff. But, man, I'd really like for this game to sit right around the $100 for every single deck. Okay, some people don't like that, by the way, so hey, it is what it is. Okay, now we got Shanks coming up here. I can tell you right now, you can whatever we're about to see, we're going to look at this third place list from Aaron from February 15th on the Versus Game Online Treasure Cup. You're going to be able to subtract about $120 if there's 4 Rayleighs in here. Okay? Yep, just like I said, you're going to be able to subtract $120 for the Silver Rayleighs if you're just trying to get into the game. Yes, I think this card is good. Silver's Rayleigh is incredible. We already talked about it. But if you're trying to get into this game on a budget, just go up one more of these Newgates. So that's plus $3. Go up one of these Ace, that's plus $3. Go up a Lime Juice, that's plus $3. Go up a Sanjay, that's plus $3. Or you can go up one of these Shanks. You can just anything in this deck that does not have 4 ofs, you can just go up one of those for each Rayleigh you take out, and that will drop the price of this entire deck by over $100. And then the deck will be basically right at $100. That's what I recommend doing, or even going up another Bad Manners Kit Course, maybe going up one of those the 1 cost Radical Beams, 1 cost Guard Point, 2 cost Red Hawks. You have a lot of options here, guys, to drop this price way down if you are getting into the game on a budget. But other than that, this is the one expensive card in the entire list. Okay, let's look at one more list I want to look at. It is Blackbeard. We're not going to look at it now, guys. Just know it's the most expensive deck. We'll at least like glance at it. All right, here's a 24th place list by Neil Bond here on the Versus Game Online Treasure Cup. $115. Laboon is over half the price of this. This would be a $50 budget list without these Laboons in there, guys. And this Finger Pistol. Wow, Finger Pistol has gone up so much in price. That is outrageous, guys. That is crazy. That is outrageous. This entire deck would be about $10 without these 2 cards. So if you really want to get into the game on a very cheap price, drop these 4 Laboons, drop these 4 Finger Pistols, go up 4 Truno Bastardos here. It's not as good, but it's still an option. Go 4 Truno Bastardos here, or, in fact, hang on, you might just go 2 more Black Holes. Yeah, he's only running 2 Black Holes, guys. So you can drop all 4 of these Finger Pistols, go up 2 Black Holes and a Shockwave, and then go up 1 more 2K counter Shiryu for the 4 Finger Pistols. And then in place of the 4 Laboons, you're going to want cost reduction here. Just go 4 One-Legged Toy Soldiers. Or you can even go up 2 more Vasco shots and then 2 One-Legged Toy Soldiers. Or something along those lines. That will drop the price down in an extreme way. Okay, like I said, we'll at least look at a yellow deck real quick. Enel is kind of like the most expensive deck in the game because it runs 2 secret rares. Let's look at Nick, the Klet's second place list here from TAC Games Online Treasure Cup. $350. I would stay far away from this deck if you're on a budget. The most expensive card is, of course, the Katakuris and the Aces. Like I said, Nami's about... Shirahoshi's not cheap either, guys. There's just so many overly priced cards in here. If you really want to run an L, yeah, it's going to cost a little bit unless you want to run a more lower to the ground version, which I have a video coming out on soon. Okay, so hold tight for that. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I have for the Market Watch portion. If I missed anything, please help me out in the comment section below. Now we are going to hop over to our one game. We got one game to go over today on the sim of Foxy Pirates. Speed is 2x, volume is off. Let me adjust my camera and let's get into this, guys. This will be a fun one here. There we go. Okay, guys, here we go. This is versus Caesar Clown. Again, the volume is off, the speed is on 2x, and here we go. Now, I did actually show people a sneak peek of this game. I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday. It was sometime Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday on stream. So, guys, if you haven't stopped by the stream yet, we stream on YouTube, guys, on the channel here every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right, from 9 p.m. Eastern to 12 a.m. Okay, we have a good time on there. We have a lot of fun, and we play a lot of One Piece and have a good time. Okay, so we just swung in for 8 there. We got a double 2K counter out of hand. I think they should have just taken that, to be honest. But now they play out the Sanji here. We don't really have any play, guys. We're going to swing for 5, maybe just slam down a queen here just to do a draw 2 trash one, try to get some cards out. Or, okay, looks like we might actually play out Hamburg. Hamburg is a 5-cost 6K, 1K counter Foxy Pirates character, and he has a Dawn ×1 effect to ramp a Dawn if you have equal or less Dawn than your opponent, I believe. They're going to swing it for 6. We're going to 2K counter. We took one, countered out of the other, and here we go. We got to get rid of some of this stuff on the board. But more importantly, we need to fill out our board with some of these lower cost characters. We're going to swing 7 into 3. There's no way he's saving that, right, guys? We play out Queen, draw 2, trash 1. We go down 1 Dawn, and now it's our opponent's turn. Now, next turn, we are going to be able to completely flood the board with 3 Foxy Pirates characters in order to lock down our opponent's 2 biggest attackers, right? Well, leader and biggest attacker. They swing for 5. We'll give them a 1K counter here. Probably give them the, Capote. I think that makes the most sense. And here we go. So now, guys, it is time to finally lock them down. And we're going to be able to do that if we do everything correctly here. Yeah, we need to play out the Tony Chopper first, if we plan on playing it out at all. So that way we'll ramp the Dawn immediately. Okay, we ramp the Dawn with the Tony Chopper. Now we'll play out the Ida Mimizu. We'll ramp another Dawn with his effect. And then we can play out the Foxy here or the Capote. Either one's fine. We can choose to not even use the Capote's effect. We just need a third Foxy Pirates character on the board, or we can't use Foxy's effect. We're swinging for 5. Dawn -3. We're locking down their leader. We're locking down their Jozu. Now we only have to deal with 1 attack next turn, and we're actually in a pretty decent position, right? All things considered, we're not really in the worst position here. Okay, here we go. What is Caesar Clown going to do when he can't when he can't attack with his leader? Look at that, guys. He just attached 2 Dawn to his leader. I have no idea what he's trying to do there. I don't know if he didn't notice or not, but his leader's tapped, and it will be for the rest of the game, to be honest with you guys. So he's going to attach a Dawn for free to the Rayleigh, swinging in for 9. We're going to take it. We're not giving him a blocker, guys. We don't want to go down too many cards on the field right now. We'll go 4 into 3. Let's see if he wants to give me any cards. I would love for him to give me cards right here. He's going to let that card go. That was very wise of him, in my personal opinion. Now, we do need to go ahead and play something out right here. Let's see what we choose to do. Maybe play out the Pickles or play out Foxy. We have quite a few options here. See, because what we have to do is we need to spin Dawn first in order to do Foxy's effect to tap down their board. So let's see what we choose to do here. I have to really consider this. Yeah, I need to play out Pickles. So we'll swing in for, let's see how much. I think I can still swing in for like 6 or 7. It depends on what I'm trying to do. Yeah, because I think we need 4 Dawn left for a to do something else here. So we're going to swing 7 into 7. We're going to freeze his board here. Let's see what he chooses to do. Okay. Looks like they're just going to counter out. Seems good. We'll play out the Reiju to draw 2. We'll use Ida Mimizu to ramp a Dawn back, and we'll pass the turn back. We're still on 7 Dawn, so we're doing just fine. They have 2 attacks locked down this turn because of our leader's effect. We have a blocker, 2 life, and our hand size is getting pretty decent. We have a Reiju on the board, and okay, they play out a Caesar Clown. That is pretty strong. We don't want to have to deal with that if we can help it. But let's see what happens here. They're going to attach some Dawn to the Virgo. Swing for 6 at face. We can give him a 2K here. Now I can swing him with the Jozu. We can just take this or block. Looks like we're going to block to clear up some space because we still have 3 Foxy Pirates characters on the board to use our leader's effect with. We're going to go up to 9 Dawn. Our opponent's on 10, so we can do anything that we need to that requires us to be equal to or less Dawn than our opponent. We're going to go 4 into 2. That card's out of here. No reason to save that card. Trying to save this card would make no sense at all. Yep, just waiting for our opponent here, guys. Remember, we do have it in 2x speed. They're trying to determine what is the best course of action here. They're starting to realize they're losing the game. So this is where they have to be very, very careful here, right? They have to be very, very careful here. Okay, looks like we're going to go 9 into 7 here. Let's see if he saves this. Now, remember, guys, when returning Dawn with a Dawn minus effect, we can return Dawn from anywhere on our field, right? So we can return it from our character. We can return it from the cost area, from our leader. You know, anything like that we'll be fine with. So we're going to swing for 5. We're going to return 3 Dawn from our Reiju. Rest down keep their leader and their character locked down. We're coming in for 5. We still have 5 Dawn left for the turn. Let's see what we choose to do with it. Okay, we're going to play out a Porsche, it looks like. I kind of like playing out the Porsche here, guys. I'm not going to lie. Because we could cheat out the, well, no, we're going to play out the Sanji. That's fine as well. I think I forgot to use the effect of Ida Mimizu, maybe. I'm at, let me see, 1, 5, so I'm at 7. Yeah, I think I forgot to use the Ida Mimizu's effect there. I think that was a mistake. I think. I could be wrong. I forgot now. I've already lost track of it. But what is our opponent supposed to do, guys? That's the real question. We have a blocker. Okay, they're going to use a Divine Departure. And Divine Departure says you can only target the Pickles, basically, right? Because he's got to get rid of it in some way, shape, or form. Okay, right here, I think we can block and 2K counter. Yep, looks like we're going to do that. Block, 2K, actually 1K, 1K, excuse me. Yeah, we're going to block in 1K, 1K, guys. We could have used our Nora Beam Sword there, but it would not have had full, it would not have gotten its full value, right? There's no other character to tap down. Okay, here we go. Let's see what they choose to do. Just waiting on our opponent, guys. They are deep in the tank right now, trying to figure out how they're going to go about this turn. They are in a less than ideal situation. I can tell you that much right now. They're in a terrible situation. Just putting it plainly, guys, they're in an absolutely horrible position right here. All right, let's see what Caesar's Clown's going to come up with here. He's going to pass. He's just going to go ahead and give up on the game. So he had 4 Dawn. He could have probably done some type of, yeah, I mean, maybe searched or something. But we have him locked down, guys. We have him completely locked down. That's what Foxy does, guys. He just locks down one leader and one character, a rested leader and character every single turn. It is very, very strong. Okay, I'll show you guys the list real quick and we'll end out this video. Okay, so here's the deck we were running, guys. I'll load in Foxy just to show you guys. I'm going to remove Foxy now so we can see it all on 2 lines. Running 4 of Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. If you don't want to run this card, guys, you can still absolutely run the Basil Hawkins. You can still cheat out the Basil Hawkins with the Porsche if you need to. Understand how Porsche works, guys. It's a 3-cost 5K with no counter, Foxy Pirates type. On play, Dawn -1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you may add up to 1 card with the type Foxy Pirates to your hand. So you can only search Foxy Pirate cards, right? But listen to this next part. To your hand, place the remainder on the bottom of your deck in any order you like. Then you may play up to 1 4,000 power or lower purple character from your hand. Okay, well, we can cheat this card out. We can cheat this card out. And as most people know, if you're running Reiju, the leader Reiju, not the character Reiju, the actual leader Blurple Reiju, you can cheat out a card like this as well, which is very, very powerful. However, we're not trying to cheat that out. We just need to cheat out maybe something like a blocker, like either this Pickles, this Idamamizu, Capote. I guess this Foxy potentially. There's a possibility there to draw a card with that, right? If we have equal to or less Dawn, or excuse me, if we have less Dawn on our field than our opponent, we can draw a card then with the activate main. So we can still, in other words, we still can swing. We could play out the Porsche and cheat this character out, and maybe this would be our 3rd character for the on the field. Then we could swing in with our leader, and it costs 3 to play this card, right? So we can swing in for 5 with our leader. Let me bring him back in. Swing in for 5 with our leader. Dawn -3. With the Dawn we just played out the Porsche with to cheat out the Foxy and to do a search, and then we'll go way down in our Dawn, and after we've already attacked and locked down their board, then we can pop this Foxy here to draw a card. There's a lot of potential there, guys. There's a lot of potential there. But another card, like I was saying, though, is this Basil Hawkins. We could cheat this out, or the Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham, right? But at the same time, you have to remember, guys, you can only search up a Foxy Pirates card. It's just you can cheat out a card, any purple card that's 4,000 power or less. Everything else is pretty straightforward, guys. This is the list I think most people are probably close to running, or maybe something very similar. Because remember, guys, for our leader's effect to go off, we have to have 3 Foxy Pirates characters on the board. If you don't have 3 Foxy Pirates characters on the board, you can't lock down the board. So you have to remember that. We do run Queen as just a nice blocker, draw 2, trash 1. Nora Beam Sword's one of my favorite purple events, if not one of my favorite events in the game. We are running the Megadon Ninetales Rush to get some extra lockdown in, or some, go for lethal or something like that, right? This Foxy is very, very strong. But we were able to win last game without him, right? This is an extremely powerful effect here on Foxy. Make sure to pause and read that if you don't know what it does. And that's about it, guys. Yeah, that's it. I was trying Hamburg. The card's okay. It's just a nice 5-cost 6K with a 1K counter. Foxy Pirate searchable. And he has Dawn ×1 when attacking. You can ramp a Dawn, right? So it's, not too bad. All right, I'm done, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Real quick, let me go ahead and put up the outro page, guys. Hey, if you're supporting my channel in any way, shape, or form, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, using my affiliate link on TCG Player, hey, because today was a Market Watch video, right? If you're supporting me on Patreon, PayPal, donating, getting the playmat, becoming a YouTube member, hopping on the Discord, whatever you're doing to help out the channel and help me out, guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, I'm done yapping. This video's gone on for long enough. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those in the comment section below or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Until next time, guys. Peace.